And good evening, East Alabama and West Georgia. It is 9 p.m. on your Sunday evening, March 30th, 2025. And we are here to talk about the possibility of some severe weather as we head into your Monday. You'll see the graphic there on the screen. This is the latest graphic from the National Weather Service office out of Birmingham showing most all of Alabama and Georgia now under a Category 3, which is an enhanced risk of severe weather, meaning that all modes of severe weather will be possible, including damaging winds, tornadoes, and large hail. Now, I don't think this is going to be a major tornado outbreak for East Alabama and West Georgia, but a few smaller, lower-end tornadoes will certainly be possible along that line of thunderstorms as it moves from west to east across Alabama and eventually across Georgia and even on up into the Carolinas and the Virginias as we get into your Monday evening and Tuesday. Across East Alabama and West Georgia, it looks like the window of opportunity for storms is going to be somewhere between 7 a.m. and about 11 a.m. The map says between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m., so we'll go with that. And then down there in the Auburn-Opelika area, maybe LaGrange, down into Pine Mountain, you're probably looking at more of a 9 to 1 or 9 to 2 p.m. That's the window of opportunity. That doesn't mean it's going to be storming that entire time. So the idea is the line reaches Birmingham probably sometime around 6:30, 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then it makes it into Talladega, Calhoun County, maybe down around Coosa County by the time we get to 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then probably 8:30 or 9 o'clock into the Clay County, Randolph, Chambers, and Tallapoosa County area, and then by 9, which would be 10 o'clock Eastern, we'll look at the storms beginning to move into Carroll County, Heard County, Troup County, and then eventually Harris County. So we're talking early to mid-morning for the western or northwestern side of East Alabama through about 10, 11, 12 o'clock for the remainder of East Alabama and West Georgia. That's the window of opportunity. It does not appear likely, though we can't completely rule it out, it does not appear likely that we will see supercell thunderstorms out ahead of the main line. That was a possibility, not looking very likely now. That's where we would have expected to see the stronger tornadoes, the F2s and 3s. Now it looks like we're looking at a squall line that's going to move across Alabama and Georgia, entering northwest Alabama probably sometime after midnight tonight, and then exiting East Alabama by 9 or 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then out of West Georgia by 11, 12 o'clock tomorrow. Now, along that line of thunderstorms, certainly there will be a danger of damaging straight-line winds. We're talking in excess of 70 miles per hour, and the possibility of a few spin-up tornadoes along that line. We're talking F0s and 1s. Now, that can cause a lot of damage. If an F0 or an F1 comes through your living room, it's going to cause a tremendous amount of problems for you. It can cause a lot of damage. Just because we're not talking about a major tornado outbreak doesn't mean you don't need to pay attention to this. You do. You need to pay attention to what's going on. Everybody won't deal with severe weather in the morning, but some of you will. If it happens in your front yard, then it's a very significant severe weather outbreak. That's the way you have to look at this. And there's absolutely no way that myself, James Spann, Glenn Burns, or anybody can tell you exactly where the severe weather is going to happen. Now, we can look at models. We can look at the high-resolution models. We can look at the HER. We can look at the European. We can look at all the data. And we can look at those maps that shows the line moving through. But odds of that being dead on are very slim. We can't tell you exactly what's going to happen in Roanoke, exactly what's going to happen in LaGrange, exactly what's going to happen in Alexander City. I wish we could. If I could do that with great certainty, then I'd share it with everybody. The wealth would be abundant. It's impossible to do that. So I know we're going to get a lot of whatabouts in the chat room here in a few moments. I'm telling you now, I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen in a particular spot across East Alabama and West Georgia. I can only tell you what the possibilities are. And the possibilities are we could have a significant severe weather event tomorrow morning as this line of storms moves through. We're not talking about a red letter severe tornado outbreak across East Alabama and West Georgia. This will not be comparable to March 15th. This will not be a significant outbreak like we had back in 2011. This will be a line of thunderstorms, and any given point along that line of storms, we could have severe weather, which could be small spin-up tornadoes, damaging straight-line winds in excess of 70 miles per hour, and some large hail is also going to be possible. So what do you need to do? What can you do to be prepared for this potential weather outbreak in the morning? Well, you got to have multiple ways of receiving severe weather information. If you live in Randolph County, you got to make sure you sign up for Randolph County's regroup. Go to the emergency management site, go to the county website. There's a link there where you can sign up for the mass notifications. If you live outside of Randolph County, check with your local government, your county commission, your municipality. Most everybody has mass notifications now, so make sure you sign up for it. Make sure you have multiple apps or multiple ways to receive weather information, such as a NOAA weather radio and an app on your phone. Make sure you follow and would love for you to subscribe to Dr. Don's Weather on Facebook. And also make sure that you subscribe to us over on YouTube. Turn that weather radio on. Make sure it's working. Check it tonight before you go to bed. And make sure it's in good working order. If you don't have a NOAA weather radio, you know where I'm going with this. You got to get one. You need to get on Amazon tonight and order it, so it'll be here before the next severe weather event comes through. Folks, we got a long way to go. We've got April and May. April being the peak month, but our severe weather season stretches on into May. This is going to be a long, and it's looking like significant severe weather season. So make sure that you have that NOAA weather radio. Also, know where your safe place is in your home. It's in the center of the lowest floor in your home and at work. You want to put as much between you and the exterior walls as possible. You want to find a closet, a bathroom, or some type of room in the center of that lowest floor. Basement is always best if you have one of those. And in that safe place, and you need to do this now, don't wait until the severe weather gets close. Make sure you have head covering for everybody, your entire family. We're talking helmets. Those can be bicycle helmets, football helmets, motorcycle helmets, batting helmets, anything, hard hats, anything to cover your head, because that's where most of the injuries and fatalities come from, blunt force trauma from the neck up. So make sure you have something to protect your head. Remember back in school, you folks who are old enough to remember this, when you had to go out in the hall and you had to put your head between your legs and then you covered your head with your hands? That's why, it's to protect your head. And then also make sure that you have maybe cushions from the couch, futon mattress, baby bed mattress, blankets, pillows, anything to soften the blow that you can cover up with. Make sure you have on hard-soled shoes. Keep those closed by the bed this evening. I don't think we're going to have any problems while we're in the bed, but about the time we get up in the morning, and certainly I think by the time you head to work or school, we're going to see that line of storms moving through. So which brings to mind a lot of questions about schools tomorrow morning. And the only two school systems that I have heard about is Clay County. They're going to do a 3-hour delay in the morning. And then Tallapoosa is monitoring the situation very closely, and they may make some changes at the last moment. That's from Tallapoosa County. Have not seen anything from Randolph County, have not seen anything from Roanoke City Schools or any of the other school systems around East Alabama or West Georgia. If you have something that can be verified and you want to post it in the chat room, that's cool. But understand, it'll be verified. So make sure you got the information correct before you post anything. And then, of course, you need to check very often and find out what the latest information is. So got a text a few moments ago from someone that lives, we'll just call it East Alabama, right on the Alabama-Georgia state line. And they're going to be traveling in the morning about 35 miles into Georgia to pick someone up. And so the question to me was, will it be safe to drive between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. in the morning across East Alabama and West Georgia? I don't know. You got to wait until that time comes and then see what's happening. So it's 7 o'clock tomorrow morning if you're driving, let's just say, from Valley, Alabama to LaGrange, Georgia in the morning at 7 a.m. Well, you got to get up, and when you start to get ready, then you need to turn on Dr. Don's weather or your local television station and look at the radar, see where the storms are. If they're still in Alabama about to move into Georgia, then the answer to your question is no, it's not going to be safe for you to travel. If they've already passed Valley, Alabama and LaGrange, Georgia, then yeah, you're cool, you're good to go. But then being able to tell anybody exactly what's going to be happening at a certain time at a certain location tomorrow morning is impossible to do. You got to get up and look at it in the morning and see what the deal is. And even if we don't have any other school delays or closures, okay, so Randolph County is on spring break. Roanoke is monitoring, and we'll make decisions a little later. Thank you, Adam. And by the way, Adam's 4-year-old grandson, Henry, is a huge Dr. Don fan. Hey, Henry. And Henry doesn't quite believe that Adam and I work together and have worked together for more years than I can count. Goes back to the early 90s, as a matter of fact. And Adam and I are very good friends, and we do work together still to this day. I help him over on the iSchool Sports Network, and he helps me out a good bit. So we still work together, have a great working relationship, and, of course, we're good friends. So, Henry, there you go. Me and your granddaddy, your grandpa, are good friends. And thank you for being a Dr. Don weather fan. That's pretty cool. Got a lot of young'uns out there that watch Dr. Don's weather, and that's awfully great. I enjoy hearing about that, too, so never hesitate to message me and tell me about it. I love hearing those stories. So anyway, there you see the deal here, and this is going to be more of a Monday morning event than tonight. I don't think we've got much to worry about this evening. Let's go ahead and take a look at the radar, and I'll show you what we're looking at out there right now, and it's absolutely nothing. Nothing happening across East Alabama or West Georgia. Now, there are two areas of activity out there this evening, and we're going to have to hang in there with me just 1 second, folks. I'm going to have to restart the radar. Let me go back up to the graphics while I get that done. Y'all bear with me just 1 second. I'm going to have to restart the radar machine. It is not wanting to cooperate. Well, you guys don't understand what I've been through this afternoon. So, in between watching two basketball games, one of them I was very interested in, we had a complete failure on one of our computers, and I had to completely reinstall everything to get it back up. Our main computer that we stream with. I don't know what happened. I have no idea. But it didn't like something after I finished my live this morning. It went south on me. And so in between those two basketball games, I was trying to get my computer back in order, and I did. It's been a stressful day, though. There for a minute, I wasn't really sure I was going to be able to be back with you this evening, but we got it. But now my other machine is acting up on me. So I'm having to restart it so that I can control the mouse. And it's coming back up now, so I'll have that back for you here in just a second. So Wanda is watching us in LaGrange. Olivia is joining late. How are we looking for Randolph County? Stormy tomorrow morning. Sometime between probably 7 a.m. and 11 a.m., you're going to have a line of thunderstorms move through Randolph County. They potentially could be significant. We could be looking at 70-plus mile-per-hour winds, a few possible spin-up tornadoes, and some large hail will all be possible. Well, okay, so we still have some issues going on here. All right, so we'll just do it with the touchscreen. How about that? So you'll see over to the left of your screen there, I'm pointing at it, that is out in Texas. Wow. So everything's just wanting to be ugly tonight. All right, I'm not going to touch that again. I'm leaving it just like I'll do it this way. This is not going to be pretty, but here we go. All right, that's a big tornado watch. Actually, I think we actually have two different tornado watches, and this covers to the southeast of Dallas, back over towards Shreveport, and down to the north of Houston. And that is where the weather is occurring at this hour. So you can see that's a long way off. Okay, I'm just getting confirmation that Roanoke City Schools, for now, are operating on a regular schedule for tomorrow. But they're urging everyone to be ready for a possible delay. And that announcement will come around 5:30 tomorrow morning. All right, so that's what's going on with Roanoke City Schools. But anyway, back off to the west in Texas, Louisiana, southwest Arkansas, southeast Oklahoma. That's where the severe weather is taking place at this hour. So that's a long way away from East Alabama and West Georgia. I mean, we've got to get all of this. Wait a minute. Wrong one. I'll get this right in a minute. So all of this will be moving in our general direction. But you see, we got a long way to go before it gets here. So I don't really think we're going to have any problems during the overnight. Now, one other area that we are watching, and that's up here in Tennessee. And we do have some pretty significant weather going on up here. We have tornado warnings up there in Kentucky. Looks like we have one also just northwest of Nashville. That's moving to the east, but really hasn't shown any signs of dropping any further to the south. So we're going to keep an eye on that stuff up there. But for now, it looks like most of our weather will be coming from that area back off to the west. And that's a long way off. I mean, it'll take it most of the night to get here. So that's kind of where we're at. Boy, There you go. That's kind of a 3D look at those storms up in western Tennessee. That's actually pretty cool. And you can see there's some pretty big thunderstorms up there. Jackson, Tennessee. Tornado warning there northwest of Nashville, but that's moving due east. That should stay north of Nashville. Let's go back over to the chat room, and I'll answer any questions. I'm not going to do long-form coverage right now because there's no reason to. We have no severe weather even remotely close to us. So if you have any questions, I'll answer them for you, or I'll certainly try to. Rock Mills in the house. Hey, Michael Brown. Betty Sue's watching from Graham, Alabama. Is this the same storm that caused all of the flooding in Texas? Well, actually, it's a different storm system, but it's not part of that one from yesterday that caused the flooding. This is a new system that's formed out there today. But it is all being caused by the same overall setup, yes. Thank you, Tamika. Aaron's watching us in Woodland. How much rain are we going to get? I don't think we're looking at a tremendous amount of rain here, probably less than an inch. Some of those heavier thunderstorms could dump a little bit more, but I think around an inch will be plausible. Hey, Lynette. Mountain Community. Hey, Miss Kay. Thank you, Vanessa. I see you down there in Phoenix City, Deborah. When will it hit Troup County? Probably around mid-morning tomorrow morning. I can't tell you, Jacob, exactly what's going to happen in Heard County. I can tell you what the possibilities are. Strong line of thunderstorms, 70-plus miles per hour, maybe a few tornadoes and large hail. Glenda watching us in Lineville. Donna watching from Ranburn. Reba's in Wadley over on the West Bank. Hey, Billy Green. Is there a chance this could lose steam coming out of Alabama? Absolutely. There's always that chance. I mean, every storm system has a bust factor. This one is no different. Hey, Cody. West Point in the house. There's Carol. No, Leslie, this will be it. When this line comes through, that'll be all she wrote for this storm system. Same for Glenn, Georgia. You're in West Georgia, Miss Kay. Thank you, Amy. Billy's got us going on up on the hill. Casita in the house. Correct, John. It is the season to remain safe. 'Tis the season. Driving from Troup County to Panama City in the morning at 7 a.m. You're looking at a line of severe thunderstorms. I would highly suggest that you get up and look at the weather in the morning, and if that line's going to cross your path on the way to Panama City, time your trip so that you won't get caught in it. Don't just leave and not know where and when that line's going to cross your route. You're going to drive right into it. Those are things those are avoidable situations, and that's what being weather aware is all about. I can't tell you what it's going to be like in Troup County at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, but I can tell you that you'll be leaving Troup County going to Panama City in the same window there where this line of storms could be moving through. So you got to get up in the morning and look at that and make that decision. Austin's asking the question, would it be best if we stayed home with our family tomorrow? Austin, this is not going to be a red letter severe weather outbreak. This is probably not going to be anything out of the ordinary. Hey, but if you get a 70 mile, 80 mile, 90 mile per hour wind gust at your house, or a small spin-up tornado moves through your front yard, then it is a significant event to you. So I can't give you that kind of advice, but I can tell you I don't think this is going to be like a red letter event where, all the schools are going to close and everybody's going to hunker down. However, you got to be ready to do that in the event that severe weather does threaten you tomorrow. Tornado season runs through May. We're just getting started, Stephanie. Yeah, plus it's storming down there at the beach, too. That's why we hadn't seen much this afternoon. Big storms down there along the coast kind of blocked the inflow, and we see that happen quite often. There's old Storm Spotter Coker checking in. Atlanta in the morning. Again, this line of storms is going to move through East Alabama and then across the entire state of Georgia. So it's going to move through Atlanta. I guarantee you don't want to be in Atlanta, Georgia with this line of storms moving through. I think it'll be probably in the neighborhood of 9, 10, or 11 a.m. in the morning before the storms move through Atlanta. But you got to get up in the morning and you got to take a look at the weather and you got to see where the line's at and then judge about what time it'll be in Atlanta and avoid being there at all cost. Atlanta is not good on a beautiful sunny day, much less in the middle of severe weather. Thank you, Jessica. Beulah, Alabama. Been there one time. Actually, I've been to Beulah more than once. They had a circus down there one time. Roy's got us going on in Roxton. I'm doing great, Austin. I don't know, John. We didn't take sirens down in our county. We're adding to them. How bad will it might get in Roanoke, Alabama? I don't know, Christy. All I can do is tell you what the possibilities are. Do I think it's going to be very windy in Troup County? Well, if a severe thunderstorm with 70-mile-per-hour winds comes through Troup County, yep, it's going to get pretty windy. Mandy, if you live in a small mobile home, you need to have a plan to go somewhere else. You got to get out of that mobile home. And you do that when a watch is issued. If you get a severe thunderstorm watch or a tornado watch, that's when you leave that mobile home. Go to a store if you have nowhere else to go. But do it when a watch is issued. Don't wait until a warning is issued. It's too late. You'll get caught out in it. Is Real Town good? How in the world could I say that? The storms are still just south of Dallas, Texas. They hadn't got here yet. You're good for tonight. But I can't tell you that you're good for tomorrow. I don't know yet. Hey, Abby. Hey, Abby. Yeah, Brittany, I'll do a small recap here in just a few minutes. No. Angela, this is not the same type of setup as what we had a couple of weeks ago. Now, could there be severe storms out there that could affect some of you and it be just as significant or worse than what you saw on March 15th? Absolutely, it could. But we're not looking at widespread tornadoes here. I think there's a chance we will see some tornadoes, some spin-up tornadoes along that line. But I don't think this is going to be, that's the thing. That situation on March 15th, we went to a level 4, which is almost as high as you can get, and we had a handful of tornadoes. I think, if I remember correctly, there were 16 tornadoes in Alabama. With an event like this, we're at a level 3. We could have 20 tornadoes in Alabama. You can't judge it that way. We're not looking for supercell thunderstorms out ahead of the line. So that's what I'm basing my comment on when I say I don't think we're looking at a large outbreak of tornadoes, the big tornadoes, F2s, F3s, because we're not looking at supercell thunderstorms. What we are looking at is a line of thunderstorms, a squall line that will move across Alabama and Georgia. Every single county, every single town, every single crossroads in Alabama and Georgia will deal with this line of thunderstorms. The potential is there for damaging straight-line winds in excess of 70 miles per hour and a few small spin-up tornadoes along the leading edge of that line. Once that line passes your community, severe threat is over. You're good. You're golden. And also some large hail will be possible as well. Comparing it to other storm systems is really hard to do. But I will say I don't think the threat is as widespread, though it may be as significant or could even be more significant. I don't think it'll be as widespread as what we saw March 15th, if that makes sense to you. Tomorrow morning after 7 a.m. for all of East Alabama and West Georgia. How about those Auburn Tigers? How about Janai Broome? That dude, my goodness. Oh, there's a lot of those on this team, but my goodness, what he was able to do after getting injured, going to the locker room, getting his arm x-rayed, and then coming back and hitting that 3. Whew, I come off the couch on that one. I do have a crystal ball, Ryan. I do. Hang on a minute. There you go. That's kind of hard to see, but it's got the logo in the middle of it. So, yes, I do have a crystal ball. The problem is it will not tell. What's the weather going to be doing in Roanoke tomorrow morning at 6:17, 32 seconds a.m.? But I do have a crystal ball. That joker's heavy, too. I dropped it on my foot one time. Hey, Miss Cecilia. Wait a minute. I saw a comment. I got to go back. I got to scroll back up. I have weather anxiety, but you make me want to be a meteorologist. Wow. That's probably the best single comment I think I have ever received. Angela Boyd, thank you. I may use that as a promo slug. I may use that. I have weather anxiety, but you make me want to be a meteorologist. I like that. It's good stuff. Wait a minute. Let me just... we're going. Let me get that. Let me screenshot that right quick. You guys are too much. Hey, Joanne. Beverly's got us going on in Bowden. Yes, I will be live in the morning. I'm taking some comp time in the morning. So I'll probably crank things up. I'll look and see what things look like around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then we'll go live as soon as I think it's necessary. But I will be here with you in the morning. Well, I looked into getting those crystal balls made and having them for sale, but the doggone things are expensive. And that's about $40 right there. And so, I'd have to sell them for more than that to make it worthwhile, which I'm not against doing, but I that's a lot of money. But they're pretty cool. And it's got a light. It's got a stand that it sets on. And it's got a light built into that stand, so the logo changes colors. Or you can just set it to one particular color. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, it'll fall down in that cup. Yeah, don't go into panic mode, Stephanie. We're going to walk you through this. If you're watching us, you're weather aware, and that's all. That 90% of surviving severe weather is being weather aware, and you're weather aware, so you're good. And I'll be here with you in the morning when this stuff comes through. So there's no point in being having anxiety over this. Didn't work. All right, folks, let's see what time it is. It is 9:37 p.m. Central, 10:37 Eastern. Crystal ball T-shirt's a good idea, Angie. Just morning rain, Sandra, for East Alabama and West Georgia. Now, as you get on into the early afternoon hours, this thing may grow even stronger as it moves through middle Georgia and South Georgia. You folks down around Albany, Americus, probably south of Macon, heads up. It could get really nasty down there tomorrow afternoon. I mean, we may see even more of a severe threat there than what we may see across East Alabama and West Georgia. So heads up on that. You're welcome, Kathy. Now, here's the deal. So occasionally these storms, when they move through East Alabama and into West Georgia, they line up just right where they come right across the county I serve and live in up here in Northeast Georgia. If that happens, I may have to leave you before the line gets completely through East Alabama and West Georgia because even though I am taking some PTO hours or some comp hours in the morning, I still have that responsibility, and there are things I still have to do. I really am never on vacation, ever. It's 24/7, 365 commitment, and that's okay. I knew what I signed up for when I got into this, and I love every minute of it. So there is that possibility. Yeah, I can't stay with you through the entire event tomorrow morning, but the idea is that I will, and I'll stay with you as long as I can, and hopefully that will be long enough to get us through this. Hopefully we won't have any severe weather to deal with in the morning, but that possibility is going to be there. All right, so we're going to wrap this up for now. Again, I'm going to watch the weather throughout the evening hours and the morning hours, and as soon as I think it's necessary to come back, then we will. We do have some strong storms up in Tennessee, but I don't think those are going to drop down into Alabama. And then the next closest batch of storms is way out in Texas, and that's a long way off. So it'll be at least tomorrow morning, if not mid-morning, before it moves through East Alabama and West Georgia. We'll have live coverage for you here on Dr. Don's Weather. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back in here in a few hours as we continue watching the potential for severe weather across East Alabama and West Georgia. Thanks for joining us.